Welcome back, everyone, to a fresh episode of All Access with the Profs. I'm Derek Hill, joined as always by the somewhat illustrious Sean Kelly. Today we have big news from the professional sports world as another coveted free agent is off the market, as well as excellent interviews, as always, by our Mark Acitelli and Rebecca Sulzbach, talking with the men's basketball team this week.
That's right, Derek. We got an action-packed show today. I'm looking forward to hearing what our Pro Talk host, Jeremy Lightfinger, has to say about that big signing. Should be a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sean, spring sports are underway.
Oh, they are chugging along. The train has left the station, Derek.
It may still be cold outside, but we got baseball, softball, and lacrosse going.
And it's been a fantastic week, fantastic past couple weeks, so I can't wait to get right into it.
We have the baseball recaps coming up in just a second. There were like 5 or 6 softball games, all of them canceled due to weather, which is unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, but hopefully they jump right back on and get some great scores.
Yeah, and women's lacrosse got right into it as well. So let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it.
The men's basketball team took down the top-seeded New Jersey City Gothic Knights in the NJAC Championship on Friday night to take home the title. The 80-77 win propelled the team to a spot in the NCAA Division III Championship Tournament, as well as their first NJAC title since 1999. The 20-year drought was ended by Nick DePerge's team-leading contribution of 19 points, including 5 three-pointers. The game was neck and neck throughout the contest, Deron Curry hitting the tying layup for the Profs with 55 seconds left. This would be followed by a three-pointer by Matt Green with 12 seconds left. The Gothic Knights' three-point attempt on the final play was just off the mark, giving the Profs the victory.
Rowan baseball successfully batted their way to a massive season-opening win with a 25-3 scoreline against Stevens Institute of Technology. The Profs started off strong in the first inning, picking up 6 runs off an RBI single, a throwing error, and a 3-home run by Stephen Hua. The third and fourth innings saw 6 more home runs for the Brown and Gold before Stevens got on the board in the bottom of the 5th with a 2-run single, making the score 12-2. Those 2 runs would not go without punishment as Rowan batted 6 more in at the top of the 6th inning and stayed hot all the way through, only allowing 1 more run on their way to a dominant win. Shortstop Dylan Mendel ended the night on top, finishing with 5 hits, 2 runs, and 4 runs batted in. The Profs take on Messiah College tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Women's lacrosse has come out of the gate swinging with a fantastic 17-7 win over Ursinus College on Wednesday. The Profs started the game trailing as Ursinus midfielder Hannah Crowley scored the first 2 goals of the game. With 22 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, Rowan attackers Jess Havers and Maddie Bray both scored to tie up the contest 2-2. The Bears went up to a 3-2 lead after a quick goal from attack Grace Langdon. But it was short-lived as Rowan rallied with 4 more goals to make it 6-3. The Profs ended the break up 10-5. Ursinus started the second stanza with a goal, but not long after, Rowan went on a 6-0 run, cradling their way to a season-opening win. The Profs traveled to Stevens Institute of Technology for a Saturday matinee.
Did you like that joke about cradling?
Yeah, I thought I read it wrong for a second.
It was my favorite part
but then I remembered that.
I felt proud.
Yeah, solid lacrosse joke, Sean.
Oh, thank you. I take pride in my jokes.
But excellent start for the lacrosse team early on.
Seriously, great start for them, but even that massive baseball opener, I know that they're a great team. They're really looking good last year.
When I saw that score last week, I was baffled. I thought it's like a football score, honestly.
I know. I was aghast.
I'm surprised that the refs or the umpires didn't call that game off.
Oh my! I know.
Because I know that there's no 10-run.
But they
mercy rule.
They went out there and just showed them who's boss.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason why they're the favorite to repeat for the NJAC championship.
Oh yeah.
And men's basketball team, they won the NJAC championship.
First time since '99.
And our Mark Acitelli, he's ready.
Oh, he's ready.
He's talking to him today for us.
Yes, he is, and let's get right to that. Mark is going to join us now with a couple of players from the men's basketball team to discuss that recent NJAC title. Mark?
And thanks, Sean. I'm Mark Acitelli here alongside Rob DePerge, senior guard on the Rowan men's basketball team. Rob, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you giving us some time. But first off, congratulations. The team, you and the team won the NJAC title this year, beat NJCU in a thrilling game, 80-77. Yeah, it's a big deal for you guys, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what we've been working for all year, so it's just kind of cool how it all worked out.
Yeah, man. I mean, big deal because that's the first time you guys won an NJAC championship since 1999.
Yeah, it's crazy because there's been so many good players and I've been playing with, and that's still come around the program, and it's cool how even though we haven't won in 20 years, we still have a really good relationship, and a lot of the alumni have a very good role with the team. So we did not only win that for this team, we won it for the years past, and it's really cool how we kind of have a Rowan basketball community. So it's not just for this 16, it's for the past 16 and so on.
Yeah, so I mean, just from that answer alone, I can tell that this Rowan basketball team, you guys are it's really family oriented. You guys take a lot of pride in, the past teams that came before you, and so going into the question, you ended that 20-year drought. Guys finally won the NJAC title, which you guys felt like you worked your butts off for and you really deserved. How does it feel to bring that home and etch your name in Rowan basketball history?
Honestly, it's one of the greatest moments of my life. I've never won like a sectional championship in high school. I never won my first 3 years here, so it was I worked so hard for this, like every day in the summer. Even since freshman year, I'm like, I'm gonna win an NJAC. Before I leave, I'm gonna win an NJAC. And I'll stay with my brother and Nick Battle, who isn't here obviously, but like we've been talking about it forever. And actually, to have the opportunity to do it, it's just unbelievable how like it's just a process to everything and how everything paid off. So I still can't even believe it. Like to share that moment with this group of guys is just so special.
Yeah, and I'm sure sharing that moment, like you said, with your twin brother, that's a big deal for you guys. I'm sure you and your family had a nice steak dinner after you guys got back to Glassboro and in the area.
Yeah, it was fun.
But now big game, right? You guys took on NJCU NJAC final. You went there early in the year, you lost. It was a heartbreaking one. It was one of those games where you guys nothing was going right for you guys. Turn the ball over, shots wouldn't drop. Come back here, you beat them on your home turf in SB Gym, and then you go back there for the NJAC title game. Just kind of explain what it's like to go into such a hostile environment like NJCU when there's a conference title on the line.
Well, the first time I played them, me and Duran didn't play, so it's kind of like a different team. But we still had a good shot to win the game. Going there to play for the NJAC title, obviously I'd rather play it at home, but to be able to take it from them is kind of like it's an awesome feeling. Like you had the fans yelling at us, throwing bottles after the game. It's just cool because like it just has another added pressure, another thing you gotta face, and we kind of embrace that like underdog mentality. And a lot of people even though we got to the conference finals, they're all like, "Yeah, you guys aren't winning. This isn't you guys. Like this isn't us." And we're like, "What? Like this? Like we've been waiting for this. Like they aren't coming. We will dominate them. Like that's how we kind of come with every game, and just like." We came with it. We had our little runs here and there. They had their runs, but like we're always composed, and just to be able to do it there it'd be cool to do it here in SB, but like to do it there is awesome. Just to take it from them. And
I think that confidence that you just exuded right there about your team and how strongly you feel, you guys think you can win every single game no matter what. I love the sound, but we were talking about it beforehand. Rowan Athletics, they put up a video. Coach Chris was mic'd up for that game, and you see you guys go into the timeout. And we'll get into the game-winning shot in just a second, but you go into the timeout after the game-winning shot, and what does he say to you guys? He goes, look, whatever you do, don't foul, because guess what? They hit that three, we're still going to win in overtime. It doesn't even matter. Mm-hmm. So, if you can, say what that means to you guys, knowing your coach has that much faith in you.
Well, he does a great job at letting us play free, but a lot of that is just instilling confidence, and it's hard to, like, kind of see that on paper. But, like, the ability to go for the shots, the ability to if we're up by 5 with like 2 minutes left, we're down by 10. Like we're playing like to win, not to lose. So that just mentality just gave us a lot of fire all year. And some games we may have lost early in the year because we shot a shot we may not be a good shot at the end of the game. But in the end of the year, we are the team that will take that shot. Where Jersey City is scared, they want to take the good shot, the everybody shot, and just that mentality will take us a long way. Just because we're just playing with more.
Well, it just goes back to what you guys started the season with. What was your slogan? Relax and hoop.
Relax and hoop, yeah.
That's exactly what you guys have been doing all year. So let's go to that game-winning shot. Go back to the NJAC final, game tied at 77. Time dwindling down under 15 seconds. Duran's got the ball. He drives in, loses his footing. As he loses his footing, dishes it over to Matt Green. He puts up that three-point shot. It goes in. What's your first reaction?
Game over. I was like, I put my hands up. I went over to try to give him a chest bump. I think I missed. But I was like, all right, it's over. We did it. I couldn't believe it. Obviously, there were 7 seconds left, but I'm like, there's no way we're losing this. We got to play defense for 7 seconds. But honestly, I just started like thinking about everything. I was like, dude, we really just did what you're talking about. It's amazing how like just dreams come true, honestly. And I at first I tried to get the ball from Duran, and he waved me off. I was like, all right, you look like you know what you're doing. You got it. But yeah, like it all worked out. Matt Greeny had a great shot. Like I was like speechless after the game.
And you know, you talk about Matt, talk about someone who has come out of nowhere, and he's kind of famous now. I mean, he's got that clip on Bleacher Report breaking the kid's ankles, and then, you know, his shot was on ESPN, courtesy of Tim Legler on SVP at night. I saw that live, actually. It was pretty cool how he said there's like 50 of you guys in the basketball house trying to, you know, waiting for that moment. So that was pretty cool. You know, now Friday, you're going to host the Emerson College Lions. In SB Gymnasium. You know, I know you guys love playing at home. Your home record this year is phenomenal. Can you just explain, you know, what impact the hometown crowd has on you guys when you're in these important games?
Well, first off, we always shoot better at home. Like, it's just our home gym. We have a better feel with it. And just the fact that the crowd's going to be involved, like, we have a very good crowd support. And, like, they get really into the games, and it kind of provides an extra pressure for the other team where it kind of gets us going and gives us even more confidence that we already have a lot of. So it's kind of scary. But just coming in, like, we know we won the NJAC. We're really excited about that, but that's over. That was last week. We got a lot more we want to do. So on to the next thing. Like, we don't even think about that anymore, and we're just trying to focus on beating Emerson and trying to get to the next round.
And now just final question, just trying to wrap things up here. You know, this is Rowan's first NCAA appearance since the 2000 season. That's another drought. It's been 18, 19 years since you guys have been there. And just for you, this being your final season, how is it going to be for you to get your first taste of what it's like to be a part of March Madness?
People keep asking me questions like about all like the NCAA's tournament. I'm like, yo, I have no idea. I've never been here. It's my first experience too. So I'm learning as I go. But it's just awesome to kind of say this is the end of my career, senior year. I won the NJAC, NCAA tournament, and just want to keep winning and playing as long as possible.
All right, well, I think this is going to do it for us, Rob. Thanks so much for coming and giving us your time. And now back to Jeremy.
Thank you, Mark. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Pro Talk. I am your host, Jeremy Lightfinger, keeping you up to date with all the happenings of the professional sports world. Let's dive right into it. In a year chock full of star player acquisitions by the four major Philadelphia sports teams, the Phillies just put into motion one to trump all the rest. After months of tedious negotiations, the team finally reached an agreement with star outfielder Bryce Harper on a 13-year, $330 million contract. It is the longest and most expensive contract in MLB history, topping the contract Manny Machado signed with the San Diego Padres last week, as expected. This signing elevates the team into the upper echelon of the league, occupied by the other teams expected to contend for a championship, as according to Vegas, their odds to win the World Series jumped from 14-1 to 10-1. The Phillies also won their Thursday afternoon spring training game against the Toronto Blue Jays 11-5. Left fielder Dylan Cozens went 2-3, hitting a 3-run home run in the top of the first inning. In what seems like a never-ending news cycle of baseball players signing ludicrous contracts, Colorado Rockies third baseman Nolan Arenado signed an 8-year, $260 million contract to stay with the team until 2027. This cements him as the face of the franchise for the foreseeable future. On Monday night, the Sixers squeaked past the New Orleans Pelicans in a 111-110 victory. Tobias Harris led the way, scoring 29 points, and Ben Simmons secured a double-double with 14 points and 12 assists. However, center Boban Marjanovic let him down late in the third quarter with a knee injury. X-rays came back negative, but he is expected to miss approximately a week. In other news, former Dallas Cowboys tight end Jason Witten announced his return to the league on Thursday afternoon. Since leaving the league after the 2017 season, he was employed by ESPN on their Monday Night Football telecasts before deciding on a comeback and signing a 1-year, $3.5 million deal to reunite with the Cowboys. He holds Cowboys franchise records for most receptions, receiving yards, and games played. According to court records, Robert Kraft pled not guilty to 2 counts of prostitution soliciting in Jupiter, Florida. He is among 25 people accused of running a sex ring operation out of various Central Florida massage parlors and day spas. He has requested a non-jury trial, and he faces up to 2 years in jail and 100 hours of community service. We close out the segment with a positive piece of news. NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is auctioning off various memorabilia of his, including his 4 championship rings. All of the proceeds will go to his Skyhook Foundation, founded by himself, which aims to bring STEM opportunities to poverty-stricken communities. Nice job, Jeremy, and it's good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
It was one short week ago that we were discussing that whether or not Harper would be a Philly, and it just happened yesterday. So what do you think of the massive contract he signed?
I think it cements the Phillies as contenders for the length of his contract, because I was watching the coverage on ESPN. It was funny because the two foundational pieces that they had a couple years ago, Herrera and Maikel Franco, they're now the 6 and 7 in their projected starting lineup. So it's amazing they got all these star free agents, McCutchen, Segura,
Harper.
Yeah. It's just amazing. I think that I really don't think they have a chance at Trout next year, because I don't know where they're going to get that money. But I think even without him, they'll be in championship contention for years to come.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, they had a great offseason of adding people who do get on base. And then there's the Arenado signing. He had even more money a year, despite having less years, than Machado.
Yeah.
So it seems within the last week, we had 3 contracts kind of outdo each other. What does this mean for future free agents in the league?
Well, obviously, I mean, since Mike Trout is a free agent next year, he's obviously going to get at least $400, I'd say. But
that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
too.
I'd say
That's
that.
crazy.
I mean, it's probably a safe bet, to be honest.
How is
Yeah.
all this money even? Like, you're throwing around almost $1 billion in the last month.
I have no idea. I think the league has to regulate it somewhat, because it's
There's
just going
gotta
to
be
keep going
caps.
more and more. Yeah.
Because they'll just go up and they'll never stop getting money all over the place.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. But the real, the next thing we want to talk about is obviously the power of Tobias Harris on the Sixers, right? So Joel Embiid's still out, and Tobias Harris leading the way to this OKC victory, and it's really important because they're a big team, and they snapped a losing streak on them too, and it's a big push for the Sixers. And the one thing I really want to touch on is Tobias Harris and re-signing, and how much of a priority do you think that is?
Oh, it's the absolute priority. I think it's even higher than re-signing Butler.
Yeah.
Butler doesn't fit as well as Tobias does. Even like the locker room issues as well. Tobias gets along better with all the teammates. It would be nice to re-sign Butler as well, but I have a feeling that based on what we've seen from Tobias so far, he's the #1 priority in
And
re-signing.
as we're looking at through free agents for the next season, let's say we lose someone as big as Jimmy Butler. And obviously, we need an anchor like Jimmy Butler on that team. Who do you think could potentially, just to throw a name in the hat, could kind of come out there and be a potential Sixer?
Well, in my dreams, I'd say Kevin Durant. However, it's unrealistic.
That is our dreams.
Yeah.
That's all of our dreams.
I just want somebody who can shoot threes and play defense. It doesn't matter if it's a star or like a role player, but I have a feeling just those 2 qualities would be perfect, the perfect fit with the team.
No, definitely. And with Tobias Harris now, and when Joel Embiid comes back healthy, the Sixers are definitely looking at a real shot at winning their respective conference. So
I agree.
It should be an interesting offseason for the Sixers,
Oh,
but
yeah.
certainly a long way away since they still have a lot of their season plus the playoffs to go. But speaking of interesting off seasons, Jason Witten coming out of retirement after a whole year off. What's the deal with that?
You know, I guess he just missed football that much. I mean, he took the route of becoming an analyst like many retired football players do, but I guess he just missed the feeling of being on the field. I'm a little concerned because if he's like 100% healthy or not, because I don't know if he's been keeping up in game shape like through his retirement so far, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's one of the best Cowboys players ever, so it's possible he returns to that level, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's ultimately just a really weird decision, and it honestly makes the Cowboys look like they're desperate too.
Yeah,
Even though Witten at this point is just an old check down kind of tight end, so he's just going to stand there and hope he gets catches.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
As always. Now we're going to send it over to Rebecca Sulzbach, who's ready to talk with more members of the men's basketball team. Rebecca?
Thanks, Derek. Welcome back to Rowan Roundtable. I'm your host, Rebecca Solzbach, and I'm here with Austin Kearney and Connor Dickinson from the men's basketball team. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Congratulations on your big win.
Yeah,
It's a
thank
huge
you.
accomplishment, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with Austin, and then we'll go to Connor. All right?
Sounds good.
What position do you play? Easy question.
I'm a power forward,
Okay.
so.
I'm a guard. He can play multiple positions, usually like 1 through 3 for the most part.
Okay. What year are you in college?
I'm a junior.
I'm a freshman.
What's your major?
Marketing.
I'm an accounting major.
Do you guys know what you want to do when you graduate?
I probably want to work somewhere in the fishing industry, but not entirely sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. I would say probably an accountant or something like that, something in that field.
So where are you guys from? What's your hometown?
I'm actually like 10 minutes away, Monroeville, New Jersey. So I'm kind of like a hometown kid.
Do you commute or do you stay here?
I commute.
You do?
Mm.
I'm a little bit further north, Marlton, so I stay on campus over in Mimosa.
Okay. How old were you guys when you started playing basketball?
I was probably around 5 or 6 years old. I kind of grew up in a basketball house, so.
Do you have siblings that play basketball?
Yeah, my sister is actually, my sister's 6'6", and she played at Liberty University.
Oh, wow.
And my other sister is 6'4", and she played at an NAI school out in Illinois.
Are they older than you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You have no choice?
Yeah, pretty much no choice. Grown into it.
So I was about 12 or 13. I was just looking for another sport to play after tennis, and that the team aspect just really came to me. So yeah, around 7th grade or so I started playing, and I haven't stopped since.
Okay. So what made you choose basketball, I guess, wanting another sport to play and then you didn't have a choice? Is that the main reason?
Pretty much that, and my mom didn't want me to play football. So.
Is that what you really wanted to do?
When I was younger, yeah, it was just all about football. But then my sister started playing and getting more into it, so basketball was pretty much my only option.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, just looking for another sport after tennis, and then just the idea of a team aspect really came to me. I just followed it.
So did you consider playing another sport in college?
Not really. Yeah, after I stopped playing tennis, like basketball was my main focus, so I didn't really ever consider anything else.
Okay. Were you guys gonna go anywhere else for college to play basketball?
I actually transferred from a D2 school in Massachusetts, Assumption College. I looked there and some other schools in their conference, but it was actually funny. In high school, I did a lot of workouts with Coach Chrisman, but I never really thought to come and transfer here, and it was kind of funny how it all ended.
Yeah, like it worked out.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah. So I looked at a couple of other schools, but Rowan was always really like my top choice. And when I met with the coaches, it would just seem like a perfect fit.
Definitely, especially with that NJAC one now. I mean, like it's all worth it. Do you guys have any nicknames?
I have a lot.
Give me a couple.
Too many to count.
And then tell me what they mean.
I guess the biggest one is AK because my name Austin Carney. They've been calling me parking lot lately, but that's just kind of stupid. But it's mainly because we had a game at Montclair, and I didn't even realize how far I pulled up from 3, but I guess it was like way beyond NBA. And then I have A Kizzle and A Train. That's about it. But yeah, they're all kind of weird nicknames that my teammates have given me.
Yeah, and I have the nickname Cowboy, and how I originally got that was the first day of pickup. Actually, one of my best boys, Battle, gave me that nickname when I wore a T-shirt jersey of Cole Beasley to the first day of pickup.
I like that.
Yeah, and it hasn't died down since.
Did you guys have any major injuries ever?
Not really. I broke my ankle in 8th grade, but other than that,
Yeah.
I've been pretty lucky with injuries.
Yeah, same with me. I haven't really had any major things that stopped me.
So, let's go other than the NJAC one. What's your favorite memory on either the Rowan's basketball team or any basketball memory? Favorite?
For me, I don't know. It would probably be definitely I scored my 2,000 points in high school.
That's cool.
My coach didn't let me know that I was close to it.
Really?
So the whole year I kind of like just let it go because I didn't think I was close to it. But then after the game, he subbed me out and he told me
Oh, that's awesome.
I got it. So yeah, that
was
was
like a big celebration. Like I know at my high school when someone would get to 1,000, it'd be like a big thing.
Yeah, it was a great memory. It was actually at nationals for us. So.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was actually I think my second to last high school game. So it was pretty special.
That's really special.
Yeah, and I couldn't really point to any in particular. I would just say, I mean, with my career being a little bit shorter than other guys, like just the overall experiences with multiple teammates and stuff like that has been what's best for me. But I wouldn't say there's a certain moment that's been highlighted that's better than the rest.
Is there anyone you look up to? It can be an athlete, can be someone that like helped you to where you are today.
Definitely
Anyone?
my older sister, Catherine. She played at Liberty. She had a whole college career. She also scored 2,000 in high school, and then she got to college and just was kind of burdened with injuries throughout it. And she just kept pushing and pushing, and she ended up her senior year. She was all conference. She was one of the best players in the league, and she's definitely just one person I look up to. So.
Did your parents play basketball, or was it just that you were all tall, so that's what it went to?
My mom and dad played at St.
They
Joe's.
did.
So
So a whole basketball family?
yeah, whole basketball
That's
family.
really cool.
And then my uncle played at West Virginia, and then it just keeps going on
That's
and
really
on.
cool.
So yeah.
Yeah, I would just say my brother and my parents as well. Just like the characteristics that they have certainly like showed me great things, and I just try to emulate them as much as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to pull things from each of them and just make the best of them.
So what's going through your head for tomorrow's game? Like, are you excited to host it? Is that going to be a big portion, like, help for the game?
I'm really excited for it. Honestly, the main thing going through my mind is that we're just going to win. I think the way we're rolling right now. Yeah, like the way we're rolling right now, the way we've been playing, we're just playing for each other. So I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that we hosted as well. I mean, I can't wait for the crowd to be exploding at SB over there. But yeah, I just hope we can all play together and play hard, and that's all I'm hoping for. Hopefully we can get a win as well.
And then what went through your head during that NJCU game?
For me, it wasn't too great. Robbie, we did a pick and roll, and he passed it to me, and I missed a wide open dunk. And I sat down on the bench after that and was just thinking, we're going to lose this game because I missed that dunk. But luckily the boys pulled through, so I was really happy about that. But definitely that towards the end there, that was going through my mind a little bit.
Yeah, and I actually had similar thoughts. I was hoping like maybe my 5 turnovers that I had earlier in the game could cost us down the stretch, but luckily
Turned out well.
my best bud, Matt Green, hit the game winner to clinch it.
Save the game.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys. That's all the time we have for this week's Rowan Roundtable. I'm Rebecca Solisback and Connor Dickerson and Austin Kearney, and that's back to you at the desk, Sean.
Thanks, Rebecca. Derek, I hope your Speedo is ready to go because it's time to dive into the swimming recaps.
Thanks, Sean. The final day of the men's swimming and diving team's long weekend at the Metropolitan Conference Championship ended with a third-place spot. The team totaled 1,189 points. Kevin Galuli earned first place in the 100-meter freestyle with a time of 45.05 seconds. Chad Shire won the 3-meter diving board, totaling 556.6 points. Shire would be named the diver of the meet, while Galuli would be named the swimmer of the meet.
The women's swimming and diving team earned first place at the Metropolitan Conference Championships across the 3-day weekend. They totaled 1,490.5 points across the entire meet. Carly Timmons not only took first place on the 1650 freestyle, but broke her school record time of 17 minutes, 14.08 seconds by a full 7 seconds. Miranda Coughlin took home second place in the 100-meter freestyle. In the 400 freestyle relay of Coughlin, Emily Lebensky, Elizabeth O'Brien, and Kylie Salarino earned a second place time of 3 minutes, 34.36 seconds. After the meet, Brad Bowser was named Women's Coach of the Year award for the second year in a row.
Well, Sean, did you like that line I wrote for you this start
Yes,
off?
Derek, that was exceptional.
I worked really hard on that one, just to let you know.
This is it. Derek spent no time on the show, and he spent hours upon hours thinking, the best Speedo joke.
I was in the office for a couple hours yesterday working on this script. I had to squeeze something in there.
Oh, you did. But great job with the coaching award there. Just shows off, how dedicated Rowan is. Not only the players, but the coaches are in the school's success.
And the women's team with the first place win, men's team with the third place win. It seems like every year we're talking about how good the swimming and diving teams are, and they're constantly in the top 3 no matter what meet they're at. And it's just always impressive.
Always impressive, and it's always good for us that we get fantastic games to recap there.
Yeah, and then going back to the interviews, I'm really looking forward to see the end result of tonight's NCAA game for Rowan. They seem like really humble guys, and they've been working really hard to try and be better. First NJAC championship in 20 years, and first bid to the NCAA tournament in a long time.
And they've been playing amazing, and they deserve it, and it's good that they walk in there with the humility and the humbleness. And hopefully they go far in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming up on our next show, we have more spring sports from baseball to softball. Hopefully there's no more rainouts for the softball team, and the track and field team travels to the NCAA Division III championships. That's all we have for this episode of All Access. For Mark Acitelli, Rebecca Sulzbach, Jeremy Lightfinger, and Sean Kelly, I'm Derek Hill. We'll see you next time on All Access.